Okay, viewers, this is Dr. James on Friday, 3rd of October 2025, and this is my second video of the day. And in this video, I'm going to be discussing the effects on the Earth's rotational speed and on the length of day by natural and man-made factors. And I did mention that in my previous video, but I'll just conclude and summarize in this video the effects. And first of all, I compared the Three Gorges hydroelectric dam, man-made object, and compared the effects of that with the natural disaster that occurred, an earthquake in 2004, December the 26th, in the Indian Ocean, a tsunami earthquake. And I compared the two, and both of them do have effects on the Earth's rotational speed and length of day, but opposite effects. That's what needs to be remembered here. And both of them have actually shifted the axial tilt somewhat as well. Although the axial tilt isn't static, that needs to be remembered, and it does vary, wobble more or less, according to especially natural disasters like earthquakes, for instance, and even ice breaks, major ice breaks, that would have an effect on the axial tilt. And also man-made hydroelectric dams as big as Three Gorges, that also has an effect. And I'll give you the figures in a minute. But what needs to be mentioned is the Three Gorges hydroelectric dam on the Yangtze River in China has been confirmed by NASA as slowing down planet Earth by around 0.06 microseconds. In other words, lengthening the day by 0.06 microseconds. So it's going slower, and if you can imagine the Earth, and there's a globe there, and that's actually going 0.06 seconds slower as a result of the Three Gorges dam in China being built, a man-made object. A very small trickle amount, it's hardly detectable, but modern technology, obviously, atomic clocks can detect that, but not with the average person measuring it. It wouldn't be really detectable otherwise. But with modern machinery and measurements, it can be detected. And the other factor is it's also caused an axial tilt of around 2 centimeters or 0.8 inches. So let me just show you the axial tilt. So that's the axial tilt. It's normally about 23 degrees or so, and obviously it's not like this. Obviously it's not 0 degrees. It's at an angle. That's the whole point of the axial tilt, and that's responsible for the seasons, by the way, the axial tilt. And it, like I said, it does wobble and change according to serious events, and even the hydroelectric dam is responsible for about 2 centimeters, like I said, 0.8 inches. And the natural disaster on 26th of December 2004 was the earthquake in the Indian Ocean, tsunami type of based earthquake, and that was a magnitude 9.1 on the earthquake scale of things, and that had a devastating effect on the planet, much more than the Three Gorges. In fact, it produced an axial tilt of 2.5 centimeters. That's roughly an inch. So that's more than the Three Gorges effect on the axial tilt. And also, it speeded up rather than slowed. It speeded up the rotation of planet Earth by 2.68 microseconds. That's 44 to 45 times more effect than the Three Gorges hydroelectric dam effect on the rotational speed. So that's how much comparison in terms of the magnitude of that change in terms of speed change, 2.68 versus 0.6. That's 45 to 44, roughly 45 anyway, 45 times more greater effect on the speed of planet Earth and it was going faster as a result of that earthquake, and also that meant the length of day shortened, so it's spinning around much faster by 2.68 microseconds because of that earthquake in 2004. Whereas the Three Gorges Dam, that's the opposite. That's the opposite effect. That's like an ice skater at a fixed point spinning around and taking their arms out and making yourself go slower, dragging it basically due to angular conservation of angular momentum, and that's the effect there. Whereas with the disaster in 2004, the earthquake in the Indian Ocean, that resulted in the opposite effect, like bringing the arms in because of the water weight underneath and the sheets, etc. And as a result, it speeded up planet Earth's rotation by 2.68 microseconds. That's 45 up to about 45 times more uh, change in the speed of the Earth's rotation than that observed by NASA uh, taking the observations for the man-made Three Gorges hydroelectric dam. So clearly, natural disasters are much more, in terms of repercussions, have much more um, effect on the Earth's speed and length of day, etc., and even axial tilt for that matter. And that's what I'm getting across in this video. So, but still, man-made objects can make a change on that. But like I said, uh, it still is quite significant. Obviously, it can be measured by atomic clocks, like I said, and other instruments of modern day and age. But comparing to the natural earthquakes, and even sometimes you got ice breaking going on on the poles, even that can change the axial tilt as well as the speed of the Earth's rotation, and obviously affecting the length of day. Therefore, so that's the message in this video. So to summarize, the man-made hydroelectric dam, the world's biggest power-producing uh, generator, in fact, the hydroelectric dam, and that produces 95 plus or minus 20 terawatt hours of electricity annually on average, and that will obviously depend on precipitation in the river basin. So 2020 was a very rainy year, a monsoon kind of type of year, and that's when they had their peak performance at the Three Gorges Dam, and they produced a staggering almost 112 terawatt hours of electricity annually. To be precise, it was 111.8 terawatt hours. And last year, 2024, obviously nowhere near as good. It was around annual output from the Three Gorges was quoted as being 82.911 terawatt hours. And obviously these are still high figures. It produces 11 times more electricity, renewable energy electricity, than say the Hoover Dam in Nevada state of USA, and it's 5 times bigger than the the Hoover Dam in Nevada, USA. So that's just to give you a scale of things, and it is a kind of minute change. Obviously, most people won't notice the difference. 0.06 microseconds added to the day. It's not really much significant, is it? I mean, over the days, obviously, it does add, but compared to the effect of 2004, the tsunami, the reverse, which actually speeded up the Earth and also resulted in a shorter day by 2.68 microseconds and an axial tilt of an inch or 1.5 centimeters was observed as well. So that's just worth mentioning anyway. So do remember natural disasters, is you do need to be alarmed. The effects and the repercussions are much greater than possibly man-made. Obviously, it depends on the project, how massive the project is, the man-made project, because obviously, end of the day, it does involve mass redistribution, and that's what causes that. And angular conservation of angular momentum comes into effect as well. And just think of that a classic ice skater case where an ice skater withdraws their arms and then becomes much faster spinning around, and that's like the earthquake that was observed, and then the arms coming out, and it's slowing down, and that's like the, the Three Gorges Dam being built. So that's how you should kind of think of it if you want to quickly memorize it. Anyway, Dr. James Wondich on 3rd of October 2025 in my supported housing bedroom for the homeless in Coventry. And don't forget, I was rendered homeless. I had a whole house to myself, a 3-bedroom house, my parents' house, and that was seized back in 26th of April 2023 by Citizen Housing Group with orders granted by Coventry County Court. They were ruthless tyrants, obviously, and I'm just reduced to a bedroom nowadays, obviously. Whereas before, obviously, I had a whole house to myself, a whole 3-bedroom house. That was my parents' house, and anyway, and I was rendered homeless, and I had to sleep rough in my car as well. That's how bad it was for plus 13 months before I was eventually discovered. So just put the the facts straight there. So do remember the axial tilt. It can also affect, but it does wobble now and then, like I said, on planet Earth, and it is responsible for the seasons on Earth: spring, summer, autumn, winter, etc. And obviously the spinning on the northern hemisphere will be the opposite direction from the southern hemisphere. The direction of the rotation. Do remember that as well. So that's about it for today. Hopefully I've made some interesting videos, interesting facts for my viewers out there. And don't hesitate to send any money over. It is for a worthy cause, obviously. A homeless guy like myself, I could always do with maybe buying something. If I can't afford a house, maybe buy a camper van or something. Save up for that, maybe that should be within reach. At the moment, nothing's in close proximity. At the moment, even my car's gone. It failed the MOT, so I don't even have a car anymore. So it's just anyway. I'll leave that to my viewers. Whatever generosity they wish to display, or